Hey everybody, this is Danielle Daniel. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and doctor of clinical psychology student, and I'm the founder of the Holistic Emotional Wellness Summit, and I'm here with Dr. Dave Steuer, who I'm going to introduce you guys to and let you hear from for the majority of our little live interview. I'm really excited to bring to you the Holistic Emotional Wellness Summit. There's over 30 presenters that are all professionals in some type of medical or mental health related field that are going to bring you the most valuable solutions that you can have in your home. We really just want to help you. Things that we do in our offices that we can absolutely bring to your home. But the wonderful thing about this, one of the major reasons actually that I put this summit together, and that all these professionals are donating their time and expertise, which especially like Dr. Steuer, who hardly has any time in his schedule, is so amazing that he made this a priority, because we are really partnering with Operation Underground Railroad, who is fighting against sex trafficking. This is one of the most horrific things you could ever do and force children and young boys and young girls into. It's awful. And I love what this organization is doing, is going undercover, rescuing these kids, arresting these horrible men that are doing these things, and then they're providing aftercare. It's really a whole encompassing system that they have set up. So all of us are just real passionate about creating awareness and funding through this Holistic Emotional Wellness Summit. All the profits are going to them. This is nonprofit. We are not doing this to make anything. We are doing this to donate. So we're very excited. And I just want to introduce to you Dr. Dave Steuer, who he says, I said, what's your specialty? He goes, a dad. I love that. That's really cool. So he's going to speak at the summit on the science of mood, which is something he knows a lot about and very passionate about. And so I'm going to let you kind of tell us a little bit about you, your family, obviously, and then where you did your studies.
Sure. So actually what I said to you is I said my specialty is, I hope, being a father. I hope I'm a good father. That's my it's my biggest passion. And so it's not hard to affiliate yourself with something that is going to protect and take care of children. You know, that is just near and dear, I think, to everyone's heart, frankly. And so it's an absolute honor. So it's a pleasure to be a part of that, first and foremost. So thank you for that, Daniel. So my background, I studied in a few different schools. I went to dental school, then I went to medical school at Harvard and did some neuro training and brain stuff at MIT and some other things. So my background is really, I would say, nerd focused. So I'm a kind of a big nerd when it comes to our body and how things work and why it is that they work the way they do. And I'm very grateful that when you guys talk to me about, maybe choosing some different topics, that the science of mood was kind of put out there, because that really is something that I can speak to with passion and conviction. And so I'm hopeful that as people want to jump on here and learn, that you're going to take away a few insights that you can promote within your own practices, that you can promote within your own home, your families, and then also leave feeling confident in how you talk about it. I think sometimes we talk about mood, we're supporting our emotional system, and we use things that we somewhat regurgitate because, frankly, sometimes we don't really know what they mean. And so we repeat the big words and hope that people understand them. So I would say one of the biggest takeaways from this is I want people to be able to leave understanding how it is the different aspects of chemistry, or maybe scary big things. I kind of like to break it down and make it fun and make it easy. And it's one of my passions is teaching how the things work, how our body is connected. So that's my hope.
That's awesome. I love it. Can you give us a little bit of information just so we kind of understand? I know you and I were talking because my subject is on science of emotions and how emotions aren't just triggered in the brain. It's actually all over the entire body. So we're going to go into the heart and the gut and, of course, the brain as well. So, and I know you're going to be mood focused. Will you tell us one little tip that really is tied into mood, whether it be with your blood sugar levels or maybe it's your gut, something I know that, you're going to talk about? That would be
sure.
A little teaser.
So, it's interesting because I think oftentimes when we start talking about mood, emotion, the big words, like whether it's depression, whether it's sadness, whether it's some form of chronic fatigue, we oftentimes look at that and think, oh my goodness, it's all right here. We think that, and I don't know why that is, but for some reason in society, we have a tendency to think that people who aren't emotionally happy, that it's somehow just right here. And the reality is that's not true. In fact, if we were to really analyze where it's all coming together, chemically speaking, in the body, that's probably a tertiary or maybe third or fourth on the rung of reality. It starts much earlier in the body. It starts from a hormone and neurotransmitter standpoint, even before any of that. It's really starting, frankly, in some of the foods in which we eat. And the way in which specific nutrients are being stripped out of those foods and being present or able to be utilized in production of things like serotonin. I mean, they estimate roughly 80% of our serotonin is created in the gut. Not all of that is for cranial neurotransmission, but of that 80% of the serotonin, that is what regulates feelings of fullness or satiety, or your ability to avoid cravings, your ability to actually feel more peaceful or calm. And when that starts to become a concern for somebody is when you look at that kind of that cycle where an individual may start to feel a little bit more sad, let's say. And when you become a little bit more sad, you find yourself stressing over issues. You find yourself maybe not sleeping as well. You find yourself craving things to supplement the pleasure receptors in the brain. You're doing it subconsciously. You don't realize this is happening, but it's this downward horrible cycle that kind of promotes more and more of the same. And so the goal of this would be to kind of explain how, for instance, if someone finds themselves feeling kind of crummy, why is it that at that time you are more inclined to want a bowl of ice cream than you are when you're feeling happy and running around? It's like Danielle with your cat. You got this beautiful cat right there, so it puts a big old smile on her face. Like at that moment, you're not inclined to say, oh goodness, I'm happy, big smile, I want a bowl of ice cream. They don't go together. There is a logical and chemical reason why that occurs. And our brain, and it really comes down to a reservoir system of specific things that occur throughout the body. And I want to talk about it right now, but it's exciting. And it really comes down to this ability of our brain and our body to motivate us through pleasure. Mm-hmm. Our brain functions on only really two levels, technically. One is through our survival, and whether that's reproduction, etc. So our brain wants us to survive, and it uses pleasure to teach us how to do that. The brain does not have negative repercussion. In other words, it does not send out any negative inhibitory little things to tell you bad behavior should stop another bad behavior. Rather, it uses positive behavior to promote health. So it's just something I'm passionate about.
No, that makes a lot of sense. While you were talking, it kind of reminded me there was a time where I was actually having a lot of gastrointestinal issues and was being tested. I didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what was going on. Being tested for, blood sugar levels and all these things, and we couldn't figure it out. And honestly, I never really did figure it out if it was low iron, and nothing really showed up on the tests. But what I did figure out is I took control of my diet, and then also just using plants from the earth. And there were some specific plants and essential oils that I really used for my gut health that absolutely cleared that up. And what was interesting was before all that, so preceding that, I know in my office, I have a psychotherapy office, and I would see patients, and it was always about 2:00. I would just get this craving for sugar. And so I had this little candy dispenser. Okay, in my defense, my grandpa is a woodworker, and he made this really cute candy dispenser. I didn't go out and buy one, but so it's really cute, the mason jar. And so I, of course, had to fill it with like Reese's Pieces and stuff. So I would just crave it, and I wanted to stop, but I really couldn't until I took control with these plants and my diet and these supplements that really cleared whatever was going on neurochemically and also gastrochemically, right? Which is a lot of your neurotransmitters are actually found in the intestines. Anyway, when that happened, all of a sudden that craving went away, and it wasn't like I just had willpower all of a sudden to stop eating, my candy dispenser, Reese's Pieces, or M&Ms. I was actually had no desire. completely gone, that craving. And it was just, I had them sitting there, and I ended up just letting other people eat them. I've never bought them again. And now my cute grandpa's, homemade woodworked candy dispenser's empty because I just have no desire for it still. And this has been 5 years ago. So I
Wow.
love that about diet, nutrition, eating the right things and getting the right supplements in your body. And it just makes life so much easier. So I'm really excited to hear, really in depth what you're going to talk about on the Holistic Emotional Wellness Summit. And thank you again for taking your time. I know just last week or a week ago, you were in Tokyo and Fiji and doing humanitarian trip with your kids. I mean, you're just an amazing example as obviously a father, but also just medically what you offer. So we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It was interesting. It was, when you get to spend time serving other people, it's amazing how when you find yourself at your lowest, if you focus on others, that's another interesting thing that happens in the body, is that you begin to suddenly feel more uplifted, more happy, more pleasurable. It's amazing how that works. Our bodies are this amazing temple of power and creation, and we're designed to be happy and strong. And at some points, we all tend to kind of fall down a little bit. And I think there's no one excused from that. No one is immune to these moments where we're going up and down. And I think what we're hoping to convey here is that we're all kind of in the same football field of life, and we're all going to get knocked down and we have to get back up. But what is it that we can be doing consistently to help us be able to be the best little football player we can on the field with all of our helmets and pads so we can endure life's craziness? And that's really what I hope to convey, is that there is so much we can do. There's so many easy things that we can be doing and making a part of the staple of our life that motivates our body to be as healthy as it can, so that we can avoid more of the bruising when we do get knocked down, and we can just be ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. Just as simple as it was, I changed some things, and it's not even like it gave me more willpower. I just had no desire for sugar anymore, and I still don't. So I'm excited. This is so great. Thank you so much for being on. And, this is like, because I'll show you guys my kitty in a second. So I've been like total like business, and doctorate focused, and I just love what you were saying, like been so internal focused. And I mean, I help other people with my, my practice and all, but it wasn't until I got this little cute being in my home, and I haven't had a pet since I was in elementary, that my heart's like, oh my gosh, how fun it is just to care and think about somebody else, even though it's a cat, but it's just like so fulfilling. You're right. And it really does bring on those, oxytocin for sure, but those pleasurable, that dopamine, those chemicals in the brain. And I just, no matter what capacity it is that you can, serve and give and love other things, it really does help. I love it. So thank you so much. I'm going to show you guys, since I can share my screen here, I'm going to show you the website. It's holisticemotionalwellness.com. And you can just register right there, and you can see about Operation Underground. So there's a video. So here's the home page. This tells you about the summit, and you can start your registration here. And you can see Operation Underground and really what they're doing and why we put the summit together. This is really to add value for a donation, just like Dr. Steuer talked about, is when we give and think about others is when we really feel good. And so I wanted people to feel good about, joining the summit for their own knowledge, but giving back to the community and helping stopping sex trafficking. So, and here's our presenters. Like I said, there's like 32 of them. So you are going to be amazed, including Jessica Mass, who is the director of Operation Underground Railroad. She does all the aftercare for, and she's going to talk about the psychological effects and some of the hope and the stories that they've been able to, the effects that they've been able to do by just their organization. So again, thank you. I'll show you guys my kitty, because I know that's always fun. She's super cute, and I'm excited. So 1 second, and then we'll let you guys go. Let me grab her.
I don't have a cat to show. I'm very sorry. I have a pen. Does this make anyone excited and emotionally happy?
So This is my cute little, she's squirrely. Want to say hi? Hi. This is Liberty Bell, because she's an American short hair, and I got her over the 4th of July. So we had to do a little patriotic theme. So That's my cute little sweet kitty. I'm sure a lot of you guys have fun little fur babies too. So anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Steuer, for being on and just being, we're excited to hear from you during the summit, and everybody can register. The link will be in this post. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thanks everybody. Bye.